Arthur Waghel and his great personalities of integrity calls his chapter on Piyanki, The Adventures of a Nigger King. He was boss of that Nile River. He went down, and the thing about it, he not only moved to that whole Nile River and conquered all North Africa, most of the time he didn't kill nobody. He just marched the army to the gate and said, send your army out so they can see who they got to fight. They looked out and saw who they got to fight, and give up. I give up. Marched in and killed nobody. He outlawed the concept of spending a whole lot of money on tombs and spent the money on the people. They never lived so well as during the period of Piyanki. After Piyanki, the last of the great African land conquerors to come from the south, Tahaka, conquered all North Africa, all Western Asia, called the Middle East. The first king to wear the double crown, indicating that he was the master of the lower and the upper Nile. Africa's walk in the sun was supreme. This was the finale. Now, you can say it fell, but remember, it lasted over 5,000 years and fell. That's a long time. And after it fell, for 6 more dynasties, these were the dynasties of the bastards. Mixed Greek, mixed Roman, mixed everything. Sellouts. Alexander would come, marry so many of his Greek generals into Egyptians. They would start fighting among each other. And these silly Europeans did not understand when you marry your sister, you didn't go to bed with her. They started going to bed with her. Didn't understand the custom, didn't understand the culture. Then began to murder each other. And Cleopatra, we won't get into this too deeply because Cleopatra was actually married to Caesar, and she was actually married to Mark Antony, because the only way you could wield power in that day, you had to be married into the royal family. Caesar had a Roman wife, and Mark Antony had a Roman wife. Cleopatra was jiving both of them. But for her wares, she got Caesar and Mark Antony to keep the worst aspect of Roman colonialism from the backs of her people. You can say that she sold her charms to save off the worst aspect of Roman rule for her people. Then I can say that, well, she got more for it than most women and did more with it. She held an empire at bay. Jived Caesar and Mark Antony. Mark Antony, love-struck fool, she told him not to face Octavius, who's going to become Caesar Augusta later. Caesar Augusta, Octavius, was the brother-in-law of Antony's Roman wife. And he was angry because he had married, you married my sister, and you married her one evening and left for Africa the next evening without even spending a night with her, and here 3 years later, hanging out with Cleopatra, 2 babies later, 3 years and 2 babies later. How dare you hang out here with this African holler and my sister pining away for you in Rome? Then he was to meet his brother-in-law on the field of battle with a scrubby Egyptian army. He would throw that against that mighty Roman army. And of course he would lose. Cleopatra would fake it suicide, and he killed himself thinking Cleopatra is dead. And in his death agony, he found out that Cleopatra is not dead. Now, Cleopatra trying to jive Octavius, who hates her guts, because she took the man from his sister. You got to study history and the gospel history. All right, now, Octavius reduces Egypt to the status of a colony. All the privileges Egypt has gotten under Cleopatra has gotten from Caesar and Mark Antony has been taken away. Now, can you see Cleopatra as a politician, not as a sex pot? Can you see her without Hollywood maneuvering those two men to save her country? However, but now Octavius moves down to Ethiopia, one of the Candace queens. He falls in love with this one, tries to knock over her country, and she knocks over him. And never let him speak to her directly once. Every time he wanted to speak to her, he had to speak to her language. Because certain royal people don't let you speak to them directly. June around Ethiopia for months, gave her a fleet of battleships for her birthday. The answer was still no. According to the Kiba Negas, he said, if thou wilt not let me kiss thy feet, thou lips, without let me kiss thy feet, kiss the feet and sail home. Answer was still no. Now, Rome at last had Egypt. Now Rome is cutting off the Greek traffic between Egypt and Greece. Cleopatra couldn't possibly have been Greek because the traffic had been cut off before she was born. She was Greek in name only. Not worth an argument one way or the other. It takes a Greek to get a Greek, and there wasn't no Greeks around to get her when she was born. The Greek blood was very thin in the first place. There was only about 30 generals married into the Egyptian monarchy. This is not the fact. This is not what I'm driving toward. The Romans craved another part of Africa, craved a city called Carthage. Craved it because it was the leading commercial city in North Africa. And it outrivaled Rome. And they spoke to each other in the morning. They were so committed and so obsessed with its destruction. Good morning, Roman citizen. Carthage must be destroyed. Yes, Carthage must be destroyed. They never answered why. Europeans never want to share. They want everything. Hannibal took the war to them. For 20 years, he held them at bay. Finally, worn, getting old, they pushed the old lion back home. Now, in partial defeat, he looked for two Africans to assist him, and they failed him. Scipio Africus and Maecenacius. And when they failed to hold his flanks and the Romans came down on him, he took some dependable African poison and called it a day.